kind of square pegging a round hole a lot of time here, but this new project just feels so exciting. It just that's the way to phrase it. Is on so many avenues, there's so many storylines. The refresh transition to cooling is that for me came out of nowhere. I didn't see that coming. When he made that move, and then a move away from God knows what they're going to do in future Meisterschaft seasons, because they haven't got any German players anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of questions about this Sprout team, but they're answering all of them incredibly well right now.
Absolutely, we are into the action, of course, so we'll see how things continue to pan out through this series. Falcons, at the very least, they get that CT side start, I suppose. Masuta and Python going to be the heroes on the dual leads, but Masuta will not get to see the light of day with those dual Berettas. The bomb site maybe just falling like that, to be honest with you. Very, very quick headshots coming back through from that T side, and a deep lane smoke here as well makes life very, very easy. 4-on-2. And again, there's an argument to a save. We had a lot of saving on Inferno from that CT side of Falcons, but what can you do here? Really not an awful lot, to be honest. Python looking for exits.
Yeah, they saved in almost exactly the same scenario, didn't they, on map number 1? So, I mean, it's not going to make a lot of difference, but I was a bit surprised that MBK did go for that. And we're actually hearing from our magical birds in our ears that Sprout have actually dropped out of Meisterschaft. They have confirmed that they're not even going to attempt to bring in that many ringers in future seasons. That's a big deal for this team. They're sacrificing their Cologne spot. They're sacrificing an easier route into future conferences. That's a big one. They have to for that to make sense, I think they have to remain at least top 20 in the world in the ESL World Rankings to get consistent invites.
Hopefully will be the case for them. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think that they should definitely perform well in an ECL if they can work their way through there, to be honest with you. But
it's a big statement of intent. I mean, it's putting raw competitive level above. Okay, these frags are getting pretty frisky for the moment. Okay, now we're cleaned up. They're putting their raw level of competition above. How to phrase it? Easier progression routes into bigger tournaments. I think is a fair way to put it. It's definitely easier to win a Meisterschaft and get into Cologne than have that ESL World Ranking. A lot easier. So that's a big statement. Just as Pursuit rattles off ahead. So start losing a lot of numbers here. That got pretty hectic. 3 guns on the deck. I don't think Falcons are going to be too displeased, honestly, with doing that much damage.
Yeah. One of them an AK as well that's definitely confirmed not making it into this round, so relatively big deal. And you can see 3rd round and they're already having to work the buys out somewhat. So very messy indeed. Launx down to just a flash and a Galil in the round. So they need this one to be clean, to be honest. Can't lose anyone apart from maybe the Mac 10 player because Stare is a bit richer. So they really do need to be careful. Another mid pop flash to come through. There's actually going to be no one around for this, so holding on to said flash until someone shows presence. Maybe Zyphon does, as you see on your minimap there, but I doubt it. It's going to be a B play and kind of wasting utility somewhat, but all the same.
They're just dry running, don't worry. That's why they're using the nades. I think the other thing you want to throw in the mix about Sprout is that remember that very publicly, Stare and Launx have been in the crosshairs of elite level, let's say, organizations, at least in terms of what they can offer a player and what they could do for their career, both financially and in terms of just advancing them in terms of, you know, their stature as players and their opportunities in the future. Sprout, to placate them, have to be brilliant. They have to be probably top 15 in the world, or you're going to feel hard done by if you're one of those 2 players.
Hopefully we'll get to see that, to be honest, once, you know, a bit of a return to the 1.5 circuit lands, all those challenger events, which, you know, you and I are not too disfamiliar with, especially yourself, always on the desk for those ones. So, you know, the more info you can gather on this team, I'm sure, will come in useful
I actually
in
have
a
a
few
notepad
months.
that I write it all down on.
Yeah,
I mean, live.
Well, that's big, isn't it? Because they're going to be a team that I think will start to really turn a few heads. Maybe 1 or 2 moves required, but at the moment, you know, a conference and a pro league spot should be the least of their worries.
Oh, I think this team is definitely good enough to be that top 15, no doubt. For them, it's more like they've just got to figure it out. There's a lot of moving pieces here. There's players that aren't probably not the best versed in playing in English as well. It's probably a bit of a consideration. Yeah, there's a lot of... It's not like they've played together for years, this combination of players. So they're going to have to put in a lot of work to just learn how to play together at I think the difference between top 30 and top 15 is pretty big. So there's some work to do.
Yeah, especially because all it takes is like one upset at a tournament or whatever, and you get your ranking knocked down quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they're not a partner team, so
yeah,
they live and die by maintaining a good ranking.
Ooh. Lounks and Stare, the 2 young guns, the 2 hot prospects, I would say, on this team, both chiming in to open up this round solidly. 5 versus 3. Falcons tried to go for some aggression. We didn't see a lot of CT aggression from them on Inferno, and their first bout of it here is immediately shut down. MBK's got a good angle, and he is indeed faster than Zello to the mark. So not out of the runnings just yet. Python remains on the A-bomb site. Got to be careful with how they play around him. He's going to take down Stare eventually as he sprays through. FDK with a crazy push. It's all over the place here at the tail end of this one. 2 versus 2. Lounks pulls it back to that. They're still going to try and hit the A-bomb site. Zyphon's got bomb in hand, and there should be ample room to go for a plant. They have donut control. Actually going to smoke it off, though, so very unsure of where I think Kenny is at. That's sort of the big one on this. 2v2, no kit. Molotov. It's not perfect. They're moving from different angles, different spots from one another. Kenny does manage to take down Zyphon. It's all going to be onto Lounks to go for his 4K. Can't find the head. He's low on ammo. The bullets keep missing from Kenny, however, which gives him chance after chance after chance. Has he spotted his head? He has indeed. He knows exactly where Kenny is at now. Just got to play it wisely and play around the time, importantly. Kenny S has no kit, and he can't find the kill himself, so the round will go the way of Sprout.
They'll take that. They'll take that. It was a tricky mid-round call. They saw one in that deep mid-window in the red room, and then another on the A-bomb site. They started to commit to it. I guess they felt they were so far into their plan that it was too much to unravel it and speed back on towards B instead. Falcons may have made it close, but it just didn't matter, and Lawrence has just been a monster so far. I think 2 positions define this player more than any other, and that's T-side Vertigo towards that B-bomb site and this map. T-side, B-side of the map, he is just unreal at finding out any skills. Well, he's not half bad either, is he? The young guns coming very good here early on Ancient.
Yeah, well, this has got to be a map that they have really come up on, especially Zyphon with the Copenhagen Flames days. Way back, they were a really solid Ancient team, and I remember at Stockholm it will have been against NIP. Yeah, this was the map that they managed to upset. So I think Zyphon especially is going to be a big fan of this map. But Stare, Lounks, it's the fresh map, isn't it? I think it's where they're all able to start showing at a level playing field what they're capable of as young players.
I think it's a map that really came into Sprout's pool towards the end of last year, and here Lawrence normally so good, just too much to deal with his 2-man setup when ready for that. Falcons are taking a tremendous risk. Look at this, 4 on the B side of the map. Stare is now probing. If they get even a whisper that there might be nobody else here on A, that bomb's going to sprint over, and suddenly Falcons going to go from a big advantage to being in an afterpump where they have no idea where Sprout are.
Solid pickups coming through. Yep, easy finish in the end. No real sweat off the brow. And it will be Falcons on the board pretty quickly here. So a little faster than they were on Inferno as well. So that's a lot to consider. That is indeed a lot to consider. So it's going to be a half buy coming through from Sprout. Falcons, a good opportunity to close the gap, and they will need to. We talk about the power of this CT side. It's up in the air at the moment, right? A1S, A4. which one do we go for, but for the time being, I think I'll stick with Ancient being a CT-sided map in the pool, at the very least. Yeah.
It most certainly is. No doubt about it. On the A4, A1S debate, I mean, we've seen... So we saw Falcons yesterday, so we've seen 3 teams now, and nobody's using the M4 in abundance. There's been an odd player, but... Yeah, A1S still very much in the sidelines of a lot of these players. Look at this fast play. Fast A split. You don't see this very often. There's no CT smoke. Quite amazing they get through unchallenged, but as soon as they get into that CT area, a lot of angles to deal with, and they just get absolutely grinded up. A plant here would be a miracle if they can get it, but with all these nades on these CT players, doesn't look likely, and now just launched too many to deal with, and clean hold in the end. That was a great round from Falcons.
And it should be another good round from Falcons as well. The cash in the bin, as we like to say, Alan. Very much in the bin for Sprout at the moment. So gap closing pretty quickly. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. I thought we had an AFK for a second or a disconnect. But thank goodness we do not. Very close, but not quite.
One of the first times in this series that Falcons have been up against a full eco. Maybe the first. Bit of a chance for them just to get their teeth into the game, start relaxing. A lot of work left to be done here on Ancient. I don't think Sprout will make the same mistake at taking this Jaguar control without any nades. Cost them a couple rounds ago. And yeah, I'm still waiting for Kenny to arrive in this series. Hadji too. Be nice to see him. He had a good round, obviously, in Jaguar a couple ago, but yeah, I need to see that. I mean, I can see the stars on Sprout. It's obvious who the big hitters are, but for Falcons so far in this series, not quite as clear.
Yes, indeed. They're going to move in towards that B-bomb site. Nothing really coming. I think they'll be pretty happy to take Kenny S down, and AK is actually going to hit the deck because of that. So a small consolation prize for the Glock kill there. And now another bite. It's not great though, is it? They're lacking in the nades. They're really lacking in the nades.
5 smokes. That's the good news. So can still run a pretty standard round. It'll be the lack of Molotovs that could hurt them a little bit later on. So far, just a pretty slow standard default from Sprout. They're playing out of these B doors. Early smoke from that CT side, and they're not really going to contest in front of it. They're trying to boost around the smoke at the moment. Bit of a tricky angle as Refresh takes a fight. And Stare can't quite see anybody. The smoke's going to fade. It's going to get so awkward. Wow, look at that. Longs is trying to chase down as well. Hadji's in a world of trouble. Flashes come in. And Longs, never a man to slow down. So explosive. And now Falcons, they're fully rattled. You've got to make a really hard call now if you're just going to save immediately. And I think Kenny hitting the deck is going to ensure that. Longs, I mean, he's just a monster, isn't he, once he gets going? So explosive.
Yeah. Yeah. Really decisive play in this round. And I think not the only round that he's pulled that one off. Give him the space and he will take that mile. Absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant stuff.
Whoever figured out to get a flashbang lined up that fast so that Longs could explode up needs credit as well. That is amazing. I think Falcons are going to really regret either not re-smoking those double doors or going a bit quicker. I mean, they should never have been in the open as that smoke was fading. They were almost fortunate that the players were close up by the doors. They've been further back. They could have forced like a headshot angle because it goes like up like a ramp, doesn't it? Up the kind of the muddy bit. So Falcons are making mistakes in this series that Sprout wouldn't, aren't they? Sprout don't make those sort of errors of just a little bit off in timing or not quite so coordinated. Sprout feel like the much more refined unit.
That's it, though. I mean, they come into this tournament, as I said, one of the favourites to, you don't necessarily win it, but impressively get their spot. And do bear in mind, folks, there's only one more series after this that they need to play. They were given a bye for a bit of a reason, it would appear.
Whose side of the bracket are they on? I forget.
That is a great question. The same as
I'm on it.
Permitter, I think.
They'll probably,
Permitter
So
versus
Eternal Fire's a map up right now. You expect them to beat Partisan.
That's it, Partisan, not Permitter. Yeah, which actually, Partisan beat Falcons a little bit earlier, so that might be an interesting matchup that we get to see later down the line. Refresh is in very deep.
Do you think they know? I don't think they know.
I don't think they know at all.
Yeah, Python's dead, man, isn't he? Look at him.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Might even get both here if he plays it correctly.
Oh.
One.
Oh. He didn't actually see it.
Oh. Two. There it is. Beautiful from Refresh. So well executed. He knew the spot that he was in, and this patience has paid off massively.
I was really nervous for him, actually, that he'd crawl out as, oh my god, okay. Rosello puts an end to that. I was really scared, actually, he was going to creep out just as NBK was coming through and would have had his crosshair reasonably closely trained on where Refresh would have come out, but the CS gods are with him today. How does he... As much as it looks great, how has he found a gap that big? Big holes in this Falcons defense, aren't there?
Too right, and I think they're being massively punished for those holes in the defense. Yeah, I mean, seeing the smoke come in, and then they just kind of, I think, casually play a bit too aggressive. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
probably a
comms
comms mistake.
Where that gap is. Yeah,
somebody's
I guess
rotated
so.
And hasn't said window or red room's open, and then so nobody's looking, and there's a 2-second gap that Refresh just manages just about to exploit. It's no surprise to see another pause coming out, because sort of crumbling here at the seams in a way that they weren't yesterday. Yesterday, granted, it was a bit of a messy affair up against Sinners, but Falcons looked like the more cohesive team, but they've absolutely met their match here. This is starting to look pretty dominant when you throw in the way Inferno is going for a lot of it as well.
Starting to get out of hand. 6 rounds already on that T side is just about enough, I think, to work with, and they've already got there. So there's a lot more rounds yet to come. And that cash, all the bad stuff for Falcons is just working against them, it would appear. We did say this one was going to be hard. Looking like a bit of a clinic if they can keep up this performance on that Sprout side. And moving in towards B, that looks very vulnerable. Only really one player. They've got a mid push come through, but Kenny S goes down very quickly. They're ready for the mid push, but not quite as ready as they think. This does get curious. The retake is on, and the retake is close.
Molly, NBK's going to be a tough spot here and has to give it up, and there's a big fat insurance policy on this round, isn't it? And that's Siphon. Look at him. Pushing through A now, getting in behind. I'm amazed Lorgs is going for this. He needs Siphon to be a little bit closer, but he just makes it work, doesn't he? Doesn't even need Siphon. Insurance is never called upon. No need for those insurance inspectors to make sure it's all legit, because it just goes through anyway.
Easy. Easy stuff. Yeah, and another save to come through from Falcons. The seams getting picked away at by Sprout here. 7-3, and the lead just continues to grow, I think, exponentially as well. 7 rounds already on the T side is just so massive.
It's the fashion as well, isn't it? If you looked at just the kill count on some of these players, you just think, oh, Lorgs is just destroying them. But it's more like in almost every round, Sprout is finding a good gap, isn't it? And the CT calling from Falcons, be it luck or you know, by virtue of making some mistakes, they can just never get anything right. They're always in the wrong place. This time, free mid start, and look at Sprout. It's the same story yet again. 4 over towards B. It's just Kenny S. 1 flashbang, no AWP. Wow. He could come under a lot of pressure very fast, and that death on Python is not going to help whatsoever.
Siphon in the middle. I think he is somewhat being spotted. This is a pretty big moment. It's Masuta that comes out on top. 4v2 therefore. The bomb's going to go down, though. Keep your eye on him. Refresh and Zello, that AWP in play as well. He's been a little bit quiet. Refresh loses his head. It's all going to be down to Zello. 3 from Ramp. Absolutely crazy stuff. Zello's landing the flicks, though. He was close. He hit him?
I think he would have been traded anyway.
Yes. But he still
we'll give him the style points. That was pretty good. Even in winning that round, the pressure on Kenny there not to die was enormous. If Kenny dies, bang, they're straight up the ramp. They're not getting caught by the players coming off mid. It's a real effort from Falcons team to get up to these 4 rounds. None of them have come easy, at least in recent times. Pause comes in from Sprout. Barry chipping in, saying, maybe, I don't know, maybe we should be a bit more decisive going on to be in that situation. I don't think any sweeping changes need to happen. They look good to me. And Fricks don't really, overfix here what isn't truly broken. And Falcons, they're on the CT side. 8 rounds is best case scenario here, and even that is a little bit scary going into the second half, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. It's a pretty fearsome T side already, and I think it's just going to continue. To be honest, we are singing the praises of Sprout quite well. Falcons have done a decent job in the previous round off the back of some aggression, and it seems like aggression is really all they can rely upon. Nice pickup coming in from Zello, though. There's an entry, just a spawn-based one, and that already starts to set the tone for this round. Stair wins out against Masuta somehow, right? Still quick switching. Really hard kill to pull off, and yet he's able to do so. Not always is longs required. Sometimes the rest of the team can get it done.
Oh my god. This isn't fair, is it? Refresh should probably die now as Molly's in. But I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. That shows where the AWP is. Players sprinting on to B. They know that Python's the A player. And this round's over. Should have been over. Maybe Python can drop the bomb here. Oh my lord. Zyphon, run. You need to run, brother. And he just makes it. Look at that. Almost getting tagged up enough. Okay, that went a little bit too close for comfort, but I don't think it's going to matter. Kenny turns the flash, and that results in his death. What a round. I mean, Zello, I don't think I've ever seen an AWPer get that aggressive out mid.
He must have had the god spawn. Yeah, he's just gone for it.
Stair as well, fast into Jag. I mean, the round is just over. I mean, in 5 seconds after the point where anyone could have taken contact, and they're already down 2 players of Falcons. That is catastrophic, and because so many of these rounds were close, well, their money's a disaster. Sprout are absolutely primed here to make it up to 9 rounds on the offense.
Just the upgraded pistols then, really. Armor for Masuta and Hadji, but we're not expecting too much out of this one. That's another thing Sprout have done very well against, the sort of anti-force buy, reading the economy very well. You can see that this round much, much slower, so they don't walk into a stack or a rush or a pop flash play. So, a change-up, because they've not been afraid to fight in these earlier rounds.
A bit frisky in mid. Refresh is down, but Zyphon on the spray. I mean, they have the bomb. AK on Kenny. Shame nobody's got armor. That would have done a lot of good. Another AK now on MBK. These remaining Sprout players need to get on the same page. Kill on Kenny is good, but still need to think about the economy here. Need to keep these numbers alive.
Yeah. Looks like they'll do so. They were waiting on Laux to sort of come in from behind as the key play. Good pickup coming through from Python, though, on the Deagle. You never know. They are after him, but Deagle's deadly. Close, but no cigar. Will be an AWP recovery as well. That ends up being a costly round for Sprout, though.
Yeah. See, the their money pans out. There's obviously only 1 round after this one, so worst case scenario, I think 1 player is off a rifle in the following, and I think they'll probably have full rifles anyway, so it hasn't actually made a huge difference. They'll be happy. They're so far ahead now in this map, and they have looked absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Barely put a foot wrong in this series, let's be honest. And another default round coming out. 2 towards A. Zello's over to give a bit of a helping hand to Zyphon, the AD falter. Test again for Jaguar control, and that's the first time in a while that Masuta has won out.
Zello on the contact AWP against Python as well. This could be a pretty big opportunity. Spots him through the crack. Python thought he had the angle, not quite the case. And with that, they pretty quickly are able to, at the very least, feign some A control. Maybe clear out another player, get Zyphon up on the boost. And just keep him here. He loves a good lurk, and why not?
It's quite amazing the Falcons haven't reacted more so. They've still got 2 on B. And there's been so much pressure, and that kill on MBK might change everything. Oh, Hadji swings. Hadji swings. There was a window where Masuta and Hadji could have fought together. But now Masuta's in a world of trouble. Refresh in towards the Ninja corner. Feels like the whole round is hinging on this frag, and Masuta wins. Bails them out. Wow. That could have gone either way for a lot of that round. And now Zyphon's got 30 seconds remaining, and now his position's given up. This now becomes incredibly difficult.
Yep, I mean, maybe it just becomes about doing damage so that they can find themselves a clean 15th. It's not out of the question, though. Oh, he's going to be heard. Masuta and Kenny to stop him, and Kenny will be the one that just hits that break for him. 5 rounds. Acceptable number of rounds for Falcons, but they'd love a 9-6.
Even in the rounds Sprout lose, you can just see how they could win them. That round...
Yeah.
That round is... I think Falcons honestly underreacted to the amount of pressure on A. They were lucky to still have 2 on the B side of the map. If one of them had just been on their own, I don't see how they win that. So... Even when Sprout are making mistakes, they're doing so much damage, they're playing so much good Counter-Strike, and that's what T-Side's all about. Just keep hammering the opposition until you crack that money. As we get into this 15th, Masuta again trying to take fights out of Jag, and this time, swiftly traded. Does do a lot of damage, that's the good news, and, well, taking longs out of the server is a bit of a boon as well.
Very true, 4v4. Could be a 4v3 in just a second. Kenny S makes sure that it is. Molly will reach him. And he's awkwardly having to try battle to stay alive. Zello will find Hadji out on the B site, it looks like. So now just MBK to hold. Oh, awkward flash. He does get traded 2v2 and no one around to really stop him getting this bomb down. Zello needs to get in there, though. Given the space by the utility. Really unsure of where these last 2 players are.
Yeah, they really think somebody's back lanes. And look at what it's done. It's given Python the time to get all the way into the cave now. So, big compromise. And I think this fight onto the back lanes is going to be the entire round. Zyphon peeks. Zello's actually going to get the kill first. And now that Zyphon's in the back lanes, how on earth does Python isolate these jewels? The only thing he's got in his favor is this utility, and he needs to place it perfectly.
He's so unsure of where to go. Oh, he's millimeters off on that, you know. Maybe it finishes Zello if he got the mark right. Can also see the shadow, but he can't really. It's just not enough information to work with into the 2v1. 10-5 on the offense then from Sprout. Hell of a stellar half from them, and it looks like they want to clean this one up 2-0 as well. We'll find out how it concludes after the break. 10-5 at the turn of the half, folks. You know how the story goes. Sprout with an incredible attacking side, looking very, very good indeed. And as Alan said, even when they were losing, it felt like there was always potential for them to win. They have put on a masterclass so far this series, and I know we have indeed been on the Sprout train pretty heavily. It's because Falcons have not given us a great deal to say otherwise. We'll see if this here pistol is the beginning of that. NBK, the in-game leader, says yes, it is. He's got that hero P250. He's also had the Molotov drop to him, so a lot of weight on this guy's shoulders. Early smokes, early flashes going to make their way in. There was only one player holding down the A bomb site, and because he dies so fast, it now becomes very hard to retake control. Finally, the CTs will answer with a frag, but it's all on Stair, who's found himself with... Whoa! What? Longs comes out of nowhere. Longs and Stair, the dynamic duo.
I've said it all series. I mean, who on Falcons could have done that?
True.
Who on Falcons could have just out of nowhere? Falcons had won the round, hadn't they? 4-on-2. Bomb was about to be planted. They're winning all the jewels in Temple, and then bang, 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 bang. They're all dead. I mean,
amazing. And they stopped the bomb.
I don't think they even know what happened. I mean, they're probably asking each other, how did we all die? And they're just like, oh, I just got absolutely annihilated.
Wow. Yep, and like I say, they denied the bomb plant away as well, just to add insult to injury. And then probably more insult to that injury as well. Goodness me.
They can't catch a break in this series, can they?
No, they can't. We did have our questions
Ridiculous.
Surrounding Sprout, whether, you know, we were maybe overselling them kind of thing as being the favorite of the tournament, but unfortunately Falcons have been the guinea pig in that sense. And they'll continue to be so. Flash comes around. MP9, only good for the one, to be fair. You have to watch out here. Kenny has got his hands on to said MP9 and going to be looking to make some cashola with it. So just watch out for these future rounds especially.
Oh. They would have loved the flashbang to help get out of there, but not going to be, and Launch just continues the pain train. Something that's probably worth mentioning is this match just feels like it is very much drawing to a close, is that by virtue of Heat pulling out, Sprout have got a little bit easier of a bracket than they could have. They would have played, assuming they win this, they would have played the winner potentially of Eternal Fire and Heat. And to win that series, you've got to be in good shape. Now they've just got to play an Eternal Fire probably in the following game. So, Sprout look... I mean, what world would you bet against them making Pro League right now? They look amazing.
First rifle round to come through then in the second half. Masuta with an early approach. Contact flashes from both sides, and it's the CTs that come out on top. Because of course they do. Lounks and Stair once again just ending the hopes and the dreams and everything else to do with Falcons. 13-5, and it takes about 30 seconds.
I mean, maybe Falcons were hoping for Bird Strike to bring this plane down, but they've just got absolutely sizzled by the engine right now, and nothing's been damaged at all. What is happening? It's not even a match here on Ancient, is it? Inferno had a moment in the first half where Falcons were stabilizing, but at what point in this game has Falcons been comfortable? It's just been an absolute battering. Yeah,
literally. I mean, it's just so it's scary to think what Sprout are going to be capable of for the rest of this one. Again, as I say, we are on the train. We are bigging them up. I'm sure the Twitch chat is unhappy with us, but look at what you're witnessing, right? Falcons are a good squad. We saw them play very, very well yesterday, and we have seen some decent rounds out of them today. It's just that Sprout seems so far ahead of the rest of the pack. Siphon instantly traded out, so we'll see here. A bomb site is the site of choice. Ooh, not enough nadage. The headshots are coming through. However, refresh on the A4. Another team that seems to be moving across to it. And look at that time to kill, man. It is really solid here. What is MBK doing? 2 headshots and a finish off. Means Refresh is going to have to find himself a 4K 1v2. And there's another tag that comes in. They're both solo. They're all solo. Oh my goodness. 21 bullets though. He's got so much left in that magazine. And Refresh will get his 4K as they try and line up to get a trade in. Oh my goodness! I'd be
not catching a break. If I was NBK.
I know. Literally.
He's just done like 4 400 damage.
And then his teammate kind of gets in the way at the end. They have misplayed that pretty egregiously.
I mean, that just epitomizes the map, doesn't it? I mean, even in a moment where you feel like, yeah, the map win's probably out of a question, but at least, you know, save some face, win that round, drag it back a little bit, and get ripped out of their fingers. Sprout, even when they're making mistakes, they just have that extra 5% that Falcons just cannot live with right now.
Going to try and do their best with the buy that they have here. A lot of early utility from Sprout. It seems that...
This AUG interests me.
The AUG...
Do you think he's got it because it's a one-shot headshot at close range?
Maybe. I feel like, again, experimentation because they've got so much, or so many rounds to work with. I'd say so. I think in cave.
Yeah.
You know? That's
for those that weren't around back in the day when Train was in the pool, Pop Dog players would often play on it because you'd always take a close range fight.
Speaking of close range, Zyphon forces one onto Hadji, wins it out nice and easy, nice and dry as well, which is really quite the surprise. 5v4. Zyphon ready to go once again. There's two of them on the A-bomb side, so a lot of backup here as well. Lining up ever so slightly, can't get his head away, but Zello's set up for two, surely. Kenny's going to attempt the trade here. MBK, meanwhile, in the middle, just too many targets. Does well to get one. He's done his job again, but the support just isn't really there. Molotov to come round. Kenny S's position given away with only 10 seconds left. They know to just hold off. 15-5, the 2-0. Looking more and more likely, and they might even be able to take him down after time. Lounx is going to go for it, and Lounx does indeed get it done. Yes, he does. $50 for Kenny S. Uh-oh.
Whoa. There's no winning right now, is there? This is over. 10 in a row on the T side of Ancient, nonetheless. Well, Sprout can just not be cannot be stopped at this point. Aggressive call, 3 on towards B. I have no doubt they're gonna get aggressive with these numbers. As actually, MB, did he see something? That's amazing.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. MBK continues to push forwards. He is angry. He's back with a vengeance in these rounds. He really is frustrated, I think, that the homies have not quite backed him as much as he would want. Great flash round for Stair. Finds 2, gets them back into the round. 2 on 2, therefore. Masua's still got the bomb, thank goodness, so they can change things up, go to a different bomb site if they so choose.
Well, I hope the bomb gets up here in time. Does just about. I'm not sure they're going to be ready for Zello to be this quick on the flank. This is very early timing. Or it could happen again. Starting to jump up. Oh, if he had the AWP in hand. And he just misses them, I think. But they'll know soon enough it's going to be B. And I'm really not sure if they're going to expect Zello to already be in cave.
Oh, missed shot from Zello, though. And that's going to change things drastically. Python survives and finds the final 2 kills for it. Number 6 on the board. 9 more required here for Team Falcons. But at the very least, they're able to put one together.
Let's give MBK some credit. He is having a pretty good game individually. Something that I think is probably worth mentioning is that NPK on this team is playing better spots, especially on the CT side. Playing a lot of spots where he's in the action, he's getting to cool around himself. So I think there is an expectation of MBK to look better statistically than he has done in his previous outfits. Not to mention the level of competition coming off a little bit from Mouse. So, yeah. I think MBK's looked pretty good individually so far on Falcons and kind of proving he's still got it.
Indeed he is. A fast round coming in from both sides here. 4 versus 3. Very, very quickly. Zello's in a pretty good spot with this AWP. The Deagle not really able to find anything, but in comes the support of Zyphon, and Stair finally gets ahead. Kenny and Masuda are incredibly low. I think they know exactly where both these 2 players are. Coming in from the Deagle is inches away. Millimeters, I would say. But it's Zyphon. again having a nice round. Kenny's going to get smoked off, and they'll be able to back away and group up on that CT side.
Does have the bomb, so thankfully that's not dropped out in the middle of the mid. They got so tunnel vision there just on killing Zello that everything else went by the wayside, and it was those rotators coming in that really found all the kills. Wow, Falcons, unless Kenny can do something incredible, they're off to the lower bracket. Sinners are already in there. Give them a rematch against Sinners. That could easily have gone on the coin, couldn't it? So, this is scary stuff. Only 3 spots up for grabs in this European region. And that route to Pro League for Falcons is a couple shots away from becoming a lot more difficult.
Slow but sure on towards this A-bomb site for Kenny S. Safe plant. Info's going to be in. Zyphon's going to try and catch him alone, and he does. That will be all she wrote. 16-6. After a 16-9, this one doesn't last as long. Sprout, we touted them as one of the favorites coming in. We touted them definitely the favorite in this series. You said it after the veto. A 2-0 should be all that we expect, and it is indeed beautifully done. And yeah, an incredible series from them, because Falcons are no mean feat, a really solid team in their own right at the moment, but Sprout are just terrifying by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, they just look incredible in that series. Even when I picked Sprout to win it, not in that fashion. Not in a fashion where, at what point did Falcons even look in that game? It was stellar. That was I certainly doubt we're going to see something